Alright guys, good morning, good morning. Oh, it's evening for you, Kikahalm. I'm probably butchering your name. Hi Emmanuel, thank you for joining. How's everybody today? Alright, so I don't know. Oh, we're just, scrolling down. I think this is going to be like me ranting about the meme coin over here. I know, look, I've been into Doge before and all that stuff, and yeah, you could make a lot, but man, just be careful, people. Okay. Let's see. I'll talk about it some more. I'll wait a couple more minutes here. Hi Lionel, thank you for joining. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? I'm trying to find the price up here for that coin in particular, but hold on, if I see it on TradingView, is it even on there? Python. You see this GME coin that used to be on FTX? It's still being traded here. I think. Dumb money. Again, all of this stuff is to be distraction from the real company. And if you don't understand that by now, I don't know. This is why I'm trying to at least educate people a little bit more about this, because new people who come into GameStop might not know this part, right? And they might fall into this trap. So that's why I'm kind of honing on this topic. And if you look at Twitter too, hold on, let me try to find that coin. I don't think it's on here yet. Or maybe I found it over here. Live coin watch, and this is the coin right here. Of course, it's up 65%, right? It's been trending on Twitter and all that stuff too. Okay, give me a minute here. I'm trying to find. I'll read the chat in a minute, you guys. Market watch. Okay, this is one. Watch. It's pretty cool. Okay, where is that? There you go. Yeah, I was watching Moran's earlier, and I think this is the one right here. How do I get it on here? Nope. Okay. That's funny. Alright. So, okay, everybody. I'm at work. Day straight. Street? I don't know what that means. Day straight street. Good for now. Alright. I know he's grinding. He knows he has to work. Yep. Pack a lunch. Yep. Alrighty, thank you, Northstar. How about you? How are you doing? Alright, so let's talk about this meme coin. Obviously, it's been around a couple days already. And of course, like, there's article coming out, kind of correlating GME to the actual stock itself, right? And of course, like, just the way that the article is framing, it's already kind of foretelling to me that they're gonna try to do everything they can to stop, GME, good earnings and all that stuff, right? And so for people who are into this meme coin, so I'm talking directly to you here, just be careful. You're not buying into anything in this coin right here. Just like Doge, you don't buy into anything. Yes, you could bet it up, you could, make a quick buck out of this, but don't hold it for long. It's meant to be a pump and dump, and you have to question who made this. Who is trying to get you to buy into this particular coin? What? To mimic what the actual company with actual value could give you, right? It's ridiculous, right? And again, I don't know how the regulator are not looking into this, and if somebody were to make a likeness of a company, publicly traded company with the ticker symbol just like so, do you think that the regulator wouldn't go after it? Like Apple, for example, like Nvidia, for example, right? I highly doubt it. But for some reason, only GameStop gets to feel this, negativity and, negative association and all that stuff. And it's allowed to happen. Right? But whatever, it really doesn't matter. Again, like the company's going to do very well. But just know that what you're buying is not the actual company. You're buying into a empty coins that, whoever created this, minted this on the blockchain should be investigated. And, I implore anyone who are technical savvy to trace back to the contract right here. I don't know, like whatever, right here, California website, and, welcome to the short squeeze. Like, what? And it was the anniversary of the 3rd year's anniversary of them, removing the buy button here. Wall Street sucks. Like, okay, but they use the same lingo as it was before 3 years ago, that hype people up. But again, they push these type of thing to you. We've known all this all along about Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, you name it. It's like it's being pushed in your face. And it's like, oh, this is going to be GME 2.0 type thing, right? No, there's no GME 2.0 because GME is the only one, in my opinion anyway. The perspective that I have over time, obviously, because I've, again, thanks to watching Marantz, right? We know that these type of tactic has been used since AMC being pushed into the psyche of people trying to fight back the system, right? Most people who are there, are good people. They're just being misled to put money into those company that doesn't do them any good, right? Bankrupt company. And again, they kill two birds with one stone here. Number one, they get to trash GME, right? They get to trash the actual stock. I'm not talking about the coin, okay? The actual stock. They get to trash GME as in like, hey, this is on the basket of company that will go under, right? When GME is the only one that has been turning around successfully, right? And then, and then also they get to steer people away to put money into the other company that they have full control over, right? Like AMC, like Bed Bath & Beyond, right? And those two are, notorious for doing everything wrong in the wrong place, like doing absolute everything the wrong time, right? And we all know this, like the playbook of AMC. Like if you've been on AMC in an AMC, you would know that they're about to do it again the next cycle, right? So they are going to continue to do this until there's no people falling for this BS anymore. And when they do that, I'm sure they're gonna have their last ditch effort to come out here and say, look, see, all of these coins are going under because of GameStop and all that stuff. Like, what the heck, right? But again, like that's gonna be years down the road here. I'm foreseeing this. It's like, oh, people losing money and So currently, hold on, let me see what's the market cap of this coin right here. See, it's $45 million market cap already. And what does this coin do? Nothing at all. Yeah, anyway. Good morning. Hi, Michael. Thank you for joining. Solana sucks. Yeah, I mean, again, like, I don't know about this this blockchain as well, because I when it comes to the market, I did not, jump into it or anything like that. I've heard there are people who are early adopter of this coin and make billions of dollars. I think the one in Michael Sachs or something, from the All In podcast, with Chamath Palihapitiya or whatever. So he made $1 billion off of Solana's blockchain. Now, not saying that, oh, hey, you couldn't make money on this, but just because you make money, it doesn't mean that it has any, utility whatsoever. The blockchain itself, yes, it's a good technology, but it's spring this type of shenanigans onto publicly traded company, and this is where I'm so kind of not mad, but frustrated at the financial system. The SEC and all that stuff. They always drag their feet, right? Whenever it's but again, like we all know what the SEC is. Like they have their own groupies over there. They're not going to do anything to help, the regular investor here, right? They only do something to help to safeguard, the big wig out there, right? And so, and again, like to me, blockchain is a technology that is going to stay here for a while. But that doesn't mean that there's isn't any fraud that is happening, right? I'm a big believer in blockchain in general, but yeah, you need some sort of regulation here, especially when it comes to this type of thing, right? Yeah, regulation is coming on honestly, I think, but the big wig has to be in here first before everyone else. Then they're ready to pump it to the masses. And that's another frustration too, is that, they have their own cliques, so to speak. It's like, who's allowed to make money on blockchain versus, who's not. So traditionally, institutions usually are first to the scene, and with blockchain, it was retail was first to the scene, and this is why they are coming after it right now. And they put the same fear tactic. Oh, it's scam. Oh, it's that and that and that, right? And they use coins like this as an example, and it just so happened to be GME, like the actual company itself has become this status of meme, right? And this is why people will, I'm sure there's some people in here today joining in will come in and say it's a meme coin, oh, it's a meme stock, it's a whatever. And so it's due to this type of push. But yeah, it's unfortunate. But hey, if they want to keep the price low, that's good for me. I know what I hold, we all know what we hold here. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here. And we know which one to buy. So meme coins out there, meme coin supporter out there, please know that, that if you buy into that meme coin Solana crap, it's just that, it's not the actual company. You don't own any piece of GME company. Anyway, so that's my rant for today. Who is behind GME coin? I don't know. I really don't know. For people who are technically savvy, you could trace it back to who the original mint. But I think with Ethereum, you could be more. It's more transparent. But with this particular blockchain, there's a anonymity to it, right? So you don't necessarily would see, the public contract, so to speak. Like you wouldn't know who's behind this right here. I think that's the contract right there. Not quite sure. See this, like that's the public, the original creator here. I'm sure they'll be protected, if it's anything to do with, the people who are trying to mislead people in that way. See contract address here. And I'm sure like in the FTX debacles too, they don't want to come out and say who's behind it. Was a couple of names that were excluded from the lawsuit or the bankruptcy, deducted or whatever. And you don't get to see who was that, why they fight to be anonymous, So that's the FTX thing. New listing. Coin Alpha. GME is a token on Solana Smart Chain contract. Launch date. Please log into vote. Current listed. So, I bet you anything, if Marantz was to do the digging on this company right here, on this exchange, you probably could see who's behind it. CoinX, XT.com, BitTrue, Polynext, all of this exchange have something to do with it. So this is the decentralized, it's called DEX, right? Decentralized exchange. So this is like straight up blockchain based, right? Like Uniswap, if you're familiar with that one more. So it's kind of like that, where you could you put your token there and then act as a liquidity provider, so to speak. So you need two coins, right? Let's say you want to kind of capture the I guess the fee associated with switching from one coin to another. You would need two different coins. So you need to buy into the GME token, and then a Solana. If for people who have Solana who doesn't have GME token, they could switch it from Solana to GME token in order. And then if you are the liquidity provider, you would, kind of get a small fee out of that transaction. And so if it's popular, you could make like, I don't know, 30% in a year or something like that. Depends on the volume, and which two coins are the most popular to be, exchanging back and forth, right? Centralized exchange is meant like FTX would be a centralized exchange. You would, put money into FTX, and then again, it's just an example here. So all of these are on there. So it's I don't know. It's just so frustrating, but it is what it is. It just means that we're in a good play here, right? Because there are a lot of people trying to steer you away from it. Like, seems like, right, to me anyway. Okay, so Monero. Yeah, I've heard about that one. It's like it's more anonymous, right, than Bitcoin. I don't have that one myself, so I don't. But I've heard that it's like a better way to be anonymous on that. Like that's what Bitcoin was trying to achieve. And on top of that, I guess it was like it's less fee or something associated with the transaction. There's some dot that needs connecting. Yes, I know. Like, I bet you anything, those type of exchange will give you so much information, and I'm sure it's the regular suspect, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it's like all of those people that are associated with that. I'm sure Coinbase, you just watch Moran's Connect the Dot, the next one. I mean, the newer one, Coinbase was in the same building as, the other private equity there, Antera and all that stuff, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Coinbase is one of them as well. What I know as well is that Coinbase usually, they would invest in other project, like other blockchain, so to speak. So I wouldn't be surprised that Coinbase give money to Solana, blockchain to a seed money, so to speak, to build that blockchain at some point. Again, the big companies out there, when they have the money, they have the resources, they usually would support other blockchain. At one point, I think Coinbase have their own blockchain going on too. So yeah, it's a big industry. I'm not saying like an upcoming industry, but I think again, it needs some regulation to come in, and especially the SEC now. When it affects the actual market, and they're not doing anything to fix it. It's ridiculous, And then they're like, oh, we don't have the resources to go after every single one. It's like bullshit. Okay. What am I here for originally? It's the only true alliteration of peer-to-peer anonymous digital cash. Okay. I believe that. Monero, I thought it was like outlaw or something. So usually anything that is outlaw like that, usually it's the true one, right? And again, I said usually. Yeah, that's what Bitcoin was originally was made to do, or try to achieve anyway. So now that the institution is getting in it, they are doing everything they can to control it, themselves, because again, this is a value that created that network effect. If more people realize, blockchain in the way that it was intended to be, people would be a lot more free, ideally, right? Because you wouldn't allow, like the banking system wouldn't be the way that it is, like draconian, very like pick and choose. Hold on, let me see. I've been wanting to, because I'm not doing the blockchain network justice here when I'm talking about this. There is a guy by the name of Warhe, I think that's his name. Try to spell his name here. I think permissionless, I think. There's a speech of the original. I'm sure if I show you his face, you would know who that is, for those of you who are in blockchain for a while. What is that? Hello. Okay, sorry. There you go. Okay, so this speech right here kind of... Okay, give me 1 minute. I think I wanted to show this one for a while. It's kind of Sims feeding though, but it's the original purpose of what blockchain could have been, right? Right now, I think there is a bigger force out there who want to steer it a different way. So it's up to us to know which one is the one that we want to kind of flourish, right? Of course, freedom and liberty is always something that we all want, because without freedom, the people that has the most right now would be in control, and they don't want us to be free, right? They don't want us to be knowledgeable about anything. That's why they're trying to dumb us down, with the TV show, with the the infighting that has nothing to do with intellectual engagement. I feel like people don't know how to discuss with people who are in disagreement with another anymore, right? It's all name calling. Evidence in this particular play as well. Just because you disagree with me on GME, it doesn't mean that you are the dumbest person. Just because I disagree with your point of view doesn't mean that I'm the dumbest person either, right? And so that discussion needs to happen. And the fact that the media is trying to pin us against each other, and again, it's an age old. I'm kind of ranting off rocker here. I'm sorry, you guys. Has nothing to do with GameStop, but I think it's just the liberty, and this speech is kind of give me hope that at least there are people out there in the blockchain world that are, just silently fighting, peacefully fighting, but fighting nonetheless to try to get, the money aspect of it. How can you transact freely without any restraint, right, from the government of the world? Period, right? Now, yes, it could be used for fraud. It could be used for whatever, but that's not the whole point of the blockchain itself. See what I mean? Okay, 1 second. They blocked my last message. Oh no, what happened? Who? Wait, the only drawback is that it's a bit slow to be adopted for, right. Just like, I mean, Bitcoin took Bitcoin for a while to do that. But yeah, Marantz, I don't know who blocks yours message, so if you could please, but yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you, Shane Carter for joining. They pump GME coin just to blame, right? Of course. It is a psyop. Yes, I the minute it came out, Marantz, I was like, oh, let me, take a look at this. And of course, like, they pick the date, like, at the opportune time too, to say, hey, this is the 3 years anniversary of, the buy button being removed, and this is a second chance, second coming, and all that stuff. I see through it too. I mean, thanks to you as well, right? Watching you for a long time, I kind of have that same mentality. And so, like, you don't even have to tell me that that's what's the whole point. And my frustration is, though, Marantz, is that, the SEC is not doing anything, to protect the regular investor out there, retail investor who have been investing in this company for a long time, right? And, like you and I, like, people have been watching you for a long time as well. But we all know, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here, but I'm just trying to do what I can to kind of educate people who are just been into this space for a bit, right, and think that it's going to give them millions of dollars, right? And so, but yeah, as far as I don't know who's blocking your message. I don't have any mods. I don't have anyone. So, but just retype it if you can, Marantz. Thank you though. Marantz is spot on. It's a negative. Ops campaign. Side op, yeah. My respawn by more. Yes, it's like, to me, this is why I'm so convicted in this play. There's so many shenanigans out there. There's so many articles out there that tells me. And it's not just this, too. Of course, like before this, it's the analysts, right? It's the Yahoo Finance of the world. If you kind of scroll through my old video, I saw this coming, months and months and months ago. Let me see. It's like my old, Yahoo Finance and all that stuff. I might not even have and of course AMC. Activision, Ryan Cohen. I think it's this one right here. Let me open it up real quick. Yeah, I think it's this one. Done. I think it's this one right here. Okay, sorry. Let me open it up real quick. Okay, I think there we go. I have my live stream on here, and then oh no. Okay, well, I'll just recount on what I say here. So I saw it over there, like, it's 11 months ago, right? And this is where it kind of set a conviction in me. It's like, hey, this company is more valuable than anything. No wonder why are they trying to go through all these things and saying Ryan Cohen is the failure. He doesn't know what he's doing, right? Look at this guy. Look at his face. And of course, like, he's never ever been so positive about anything that Ryan Conan's been doing. Of course, we all know why. Private equity owns his face, right? Own his job. He wouldn't be doing this job right now if he believed otherwise, right? He might have his own private thoughts, right? But he has to write something bad about this company, bad about this leadership. But yeah, Marantz, like, if you do this digging of like who owns the deck, like the hold on, let me see. I know you're better at investigating than anyone I know on this place. So it's like if you do the search here. So what I just did is just searching the contract, just like the public address that we have on those, blockchain, on the wallet. So this right here is the public contract address for this particular coin. And so right here. So if you like do some digging right here on the coin exchange and all of those like big exchange out there. So these are popular exchange, like Bitrue, who's behind it, Polynext, who's behind it. I bet you anything, you probably find the usual suspect here that's behind this. And so, yeah, help to expose more. And of course, like I said, look, I've bought into Doge before, right? Doge has no value whatsoever. You could make quick buck here. But just to caution everyone out there who's into this particular meme coin, right? This particular one, do not get into it because, hey, and if you do, just make sure to sell it, right? Don't hold it. It has no value whatsoever, and you're not buying into the company. You're not. It's not backed by anything, right? And yeah, and all of these craziness that I don't know. Okay, let me go back though. What am I? Oh, okay. So Solana, there you go, 8%. Price drop after December. Okay. They're pumping it up again, right? All of the meme coins. And I bet you anything, watch. It's going to be on Yahoo Finance and all that stuff. And it's like, oh, look, the meme coin is back. It's just the same thing as... And look at this article right here. And it's, again, it's so predictable on what they're going to say. They said, it's like launch a week ago, dropped all-time high, right? And then the so-called Gamestop token is not affiliated with the storied video game retailer. So it's just the terms that they use. When they use this type of term, it just means that, hey, it's a made up thing that this company has any value whatsoever. So don't touch it. It's just a storied video game retailer, right? At least that's how I read it. And then it's like, however, that's common for meme coin, which is created by degent trader to capitalize on the name of a public figure, brand, and news event. As the term implies, a popular internet meme, right? Of course, they name all the other stuff right here. GME 2.0, like, there's no GME 2.0, there's only GME. So just so you know, you guys, like, okay. And then multiply, I saw another term that was like, current fall into chaos. While not an official GameStop offering, GameStop token fall and currently rise and fall echoes that the actual GME stocks offering on the New York Stock Exchange. So they're trying to imply that, hey, even the stock is gonna do the same thing as this coin, right? It's tactic to manipulate people. It's like, hey, if GameStop's gonna run, better sell or you're not going to get anything back, right? So that's the whole point of creating this token, is that, again, they have the supply. When you have a token being made, the creator has all the supply already, and they set whatever the rule that the creator has made. So I'm sure they have most of the supply to drop the to sell it at a massive scale to screw over retail, obviously, whoever's into it. Okay, and look. GameStop's distressed shares, like distress. You see, like the terms that they use, it's ridiculous, right? There's nothing being distressed about the stock, right? We all know that it's been improved already. It's been 3 years in the making of doing the right thing at the right time. Nobody really tell you that. Like, these type of article is meant to discredit whatever GameStop has been doing for the last 3 years. And again, this is for newcomers. I'm not saying like people who have been in this play for 3 years. We know what this is, and we see right through it. Amidst the so-called meme stock phenomena, nearly 30 time span, but GME has gradually declined over the last couple years. Gradually declined. Now, of course, they want to imply that the actual company is doing worse, and this is terrible because, like, whoever write this particular articles, of course they're trying to mislead you. Okay, whoever's into this. Okay, like if newcomers to the GameStop as a stock, please be aware of this type of tactic. I implore you to look at GameStop balance sheets, and look for it yourself. Do you see any decline, right? And why are these articles saying to you or telling you that GameStop is declining? So the only truth that you could find is here, right here, right? If you know to do plus and minuses yourself, do it yourself, and you'll see that or find some accountant that you trust that doesn't have any skin in the game, right? And present them this, like, hey, can you look at this balance sheet for me? Is it a good company, right? You might know somebody personally who's an accountant, works with money most of their life, knows how to do plus and minuses, so that's the only way that you could find the truth about this company, right? Don't read all of these freaking article, try to mislead you here. With the shares falling and the current price of $14 at present, right? You see, like, again, this sentence is meant to evoke the sentiment that comes here. It's like, hey, GameStop is declining, like, over couple years near, right? It used to be $500, now it's $1,400. I mean, $14. It's ridiculous, right? So do your own research about this company. Of course, I'm biased. I'm in GameStop stock, not the meme coin here. So be careful. Today, incidentally, Mark, this is why they launched the coin, I think. That's what they say. Citation, continued regulatory uncertainty. of course, they're trying to say the NFT marketplace was a failure, and we all know why. It's just that right there. They told you why they are not continuing that. Again, like when the regulator are certain, I bet you anything they could bring it back. Like, and it's pretty easy, just on and off switch here. Turn the light off, I turn the light on. That's it. The blockchain, the actual website itself, it's already been built, and so it's a matter of turning it back on, right? In my opinion, right? Of course, it could be lost forever, but we still have the trademark, we still have everything, right? Like the NFT marketplace, Gamestop NFT marketplace, right? And so, or we could redesign it, re-engineered it back into whatever endeavor we're gonna have in the future when it makes sense to take some risk, right? Right now, taking risk is not a good time to take risk. So, all right, sorry you guys. Okay. Sean, the core investor of GameStop will not fall for it. This is to I don't know what that word is. I'm sorry. This is to deduce, disuse. I can't even say that word. Sorry. New investor to prevent volume. Yep, steer us away from the volume. Good morning, Moran. Saw your show. Okay, thank you. Ryan Cohen will get the last laugh on. Last laugh on the naysayers, of course. Moran's put me on a private equity game. I'm halfway through Caesar Palace coup. Wow. It's crazy how the deals are done. Of course, like, it's always been behind closed door, right? I haven't read the Caesar Palace coup, which is pretty hard to say. And I'm not a reader, but just by being in AMC when all of that happens before my eyes, like, of course deals like this happens all the time. We just don't know it, right? And the fact that Sears was one of them too. It's like everyone thinks that Sears was the biggest, department store ever. And how was there, like, the biggest 100 years old company go under just like that, right? And it has to be something, right? Everybody was surprised. How did Sears went bankrupt, right? And so if you know the playbook, you're like, oh, of course, and they jump on it. They jump on every single one of them. They're like, hey, bet on it, right? Or just by association. It's like if you rub shoulder with these people but you don't agree with them, you just like watch. It's like, oh, okay, so-and-so is in this company, let's just stay away from it, right? Let's not get involved, right? And they don't tell the public that, obviously. People are afraid to tell the truth sometimes. People are, have the inside scoop of all this stuff. And there are people who try to tell you the truth, but it's always been like, oh, these people are conspiratory minded, and that's all they have to do, to kind of ostracize you, hide the truth in some ways. Like, oh, these people are just cuckoo for Cocoa Puff type thing. They don't know anything. It's like, really? You think private equity and all of these backdoor dealing thing affects America? Like, Well, I think it's made possible because of the money in politics, right? I think money, campaign donation is a legalized bribery, right? That's just my thoughts and opinion. I know, like, it's political here, but I have my own, political thoughts and feelings. But to me, both parties are, no-go, right? Because they're all work for the same people, for the same, corporation, right? They don't work for the people. So we all know this. I only buy Circus City crypto. Okay. Be more. I know a CPA. Oh, I know. You told me that. He is a GameStop guy. That's good. Yeah. It'd be interesting to be able to talk to him and see, okay, why do you invest in GameStop and what do you see in the balance sheets? I'm always curious about that because, again, I could be so enamored by Ryan Cohen that I don't see right in front of me. But I try to be subjective. I try to be, since I know that number don't lie, let me do the numbers for myself, right? And see if it's actually declining or not, or see if it's actually the best company ever, right? In terms of the balance sheet for this particular quarter, it's pretty substantial. Okay, I'm not saying we still have small little problem to solve, but again, it's small enough that it's like it's a matter of cutting a cup of coffee, right? Like if you make the equivalent of your own life, like going to work, right? And you kind of short a couple buck here every single month. Well, you used to be highly, it's like you have too much expenses before, right? Like up here, $400 million at one point in the company history. So that's a spending issue, right? So we need to, and Ryan Cohen is not a spender. If you listen to his interview, he's more conservative. He knows to manage his money. And look, like $500 million, right? So it's just a spending issue. And so if your own life, like, going to work, short a couple bucks, what do you do when you're short a couple bucks? You just spend a couple bucks less next time, right? So next quarter, we'll see how that will work out. I'm sure we're gonna crush the earnings. So therefore, that's why they create all these coins here. Hi Swish, thank you. Private equity players circle like sharks when the hit is on. Yeah, of course. Like they smell the blood in the water. And if the CEO of the company fell for it, right? Just like Patrick Byrne and all that. No, Patrick Byrne is a little bit different. The Overstock CEO, the former one. I think, he was like fighting the SEC, actually, the regulator, to to try to, it's like, hey, my stock has been shorted to oblivion. And the CEO, the SEC didn't do anything to stop it. And not only that, he was told that he would be manipulating the stock market if he come out and say, hey, my company has been shorted to oblivion. And so that would be, a violation. You're not supposed to manipulate the market that way. But the people that created, shares out of nowhere gets to do that. That's not manipulation at all. It's like, it's BS, right? And so, I don't know. Again, like, I think the solution is pretty simple, is to not do naked shorting, right? And the challenge is to have people believe that, right? I know they're like, oh, naked shorting doesn't exist and all that stuff. Well, they could do other swap. I think the credit default swap and all that stuff, the swapping thing that they do among banks, those are the, like, it happens in the dark, right? It's between institution here. And that's why money is just moving from institution to another. I just watched George Gammon. Hold on, let me try to find it. It's kind of explain a little bit on those backdoor dealing. I know it's kind of not related to GameStop, but I think it's kind of important a little bit. Well, it's kind of related to that, because I think those swaps that happen behind closed door, and again, like if you read the contract on those swaps, hold on, I might just do a video about that, because it might not make sense to you guys. I probably, hold on, let me try to find that. Kind of jump all over the place here. Okay, I think it's this one. So this guy has hold on one second. I'm gonna turn this off real quick. Okay, so okay, so he had another channel. It's called Rebel Capitalist, and this one is his name. It's like another channel that he has. So he just like explained a whole bunch of like, you know, asset liability, right? And so liability is like your deposit and, you know, your stock compensation, and, you know, like the stuff that they hold for you, right? institution liability. And if they hold the money for you, that's their liability, right? So if you have stocks with the banks or brokers and all that stuff, those are their liability. And so the way that he explained here is that, you know, those dealings that happens, it's amongst the institution, right? And those swap doesn't really affect the price, because it's kind of like balancing each other books out, right? The only problem with that is that you have to trust those institutions. Like, let's say, you know, and that's why they have these rating things like, oh, AAA, right? Okay, Chase is a AAA, or, you know, all these big institutions here. But then when you are downgraded, you know, those things are going to cause trouble, because your asset might not be valuable, right? And so the other bank was like, hey, I'm not going to trade with you. I'm not going to clear the book with you, because I don't trust that you have the asset that you're telling me that you have, right? And so that's the problem, is that until it's too late to fix already, then they'll be like, oh, hey, you know, and that's why you see all those price drop from the bank, because there are some banks that are not being trusted, right, with the whole system. And of course, the whole system is working in that backdoor dealing type of thing. So I'm sure, you know, at the higher level, not just between stocks here, right? I know, like the company, if you look at it, it's just like a pyramid. But this is more like you know, happen at the top level here. Like banks, not CEOs of companies, you know, to whoever financed the company, so to speak, right? I hope I make sense in the world. But if you watch this particular video, you would understand, you know, like the whole clearing the book of each other, right? If they trust each other, nothing changed, so to speak. So they get to keep, you know, each other liability, asset, and all that stuff, and they swap it, because, again, because they trust each other, that the asset is there, that is, you know, whatever. But when they don't trust each other, that's when the problem happens. Okay, let's see. Private equity, what's up? Hi, Sush. He see what Moran sees, and Moran sees, yes, on the balance sheet. Okay, that's good. Balance sheets and earnings statements show a great outlook. Yes, of course, and that's why it's important to go through the source yourself and not believing in all of these analysts right there. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Like, I have my suspicion on all of these BS that is happening, and it makes me even more convicted in the play, in the actual stock itself, not the meme coins here. And if you look at these new YouTubers coming over here, let me click on them. I'm gonna turn off the sound.
Sup everybody, Logan here, stock.
Logan. Alright. Stock investor, but then he pump AMC. It's not AMC, sorry. GME coin right here. Ridiculous, right? And he has 30,000 subscriber platform. Do I see Windrop of the World over here? No. Do I see any you're pumping this, or what is it? What's that guy? Scott Allen? Or SpongeBob guy? I don't see any of them over here trying to deter people from buying. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure this is for clicks and view as well, they're just capitalizing on the YouTube algorithm and all that stuff, and I bet you anything the view is going to be pushed up to, the most popular. So it's just how they are operating. This one too, of course, just be on the lookout for this type of pump again, you guys. Just so you know, you're not buying into a company, you're buying into a empty of a coin, right? Meme coin at that. Okay, so let me see. What is this? Effective. Huh. Okay. Alright, so any question, you guys? I've been here quite a bit. I know I'm preaching to the choir, so usually, you're in agreement with me. So I'm looking for an opposition, you guys. And I appreciate that support, though. Let me kind of take some time to appreciate all of you being here. Hi, Lynn. Thank you. Logan equal the opposite of legitimate. Logan. I don't know what that is. How about that dude? Trade. Of course. I mean, yeah, it was the side up. Obviously, I was watching him as well, and thinking back to that point in time. Oops, I'm clicking on a button over here. Thinking back to like that time period, it was, yeah, we all was fooled by it, and the idea that you're fighting something, right, by going into AMC. And it was curious to me too, because like Charles Payne, right, was like the silverback and all that stuff, and it's like I always question, like, why do they just present AMC and not GME price at the time, right? And that's what makes me question a little bit more, and still, it's like, hey, there's something fishy here, but I just can't pinpoint anything, because before then, I didn't find Moran's channel yet, right? So I didn't know what it was, but I was in. All I know is that I was in AMC at the time and did make some money on it. And thank goodness I jumped out of it, the right time. and then went all into GME after I saw the interview of Ryan Cohen on Chewy and all that stuff. So I have my reason, you know. And at the time, my cost average was like $40. No, not at the time. Like before the split. No, sorry. After the split, it's around $40 or so. I haven't added more since because I'm still waiting for that lump sum for the settlement. And so, you know, I've been saving up too. So, yeah, I'm gonna add some more to my Roth IRA. But you guys all know that. So as low as the price was, as it is today, it was a good feeling that I'm gonna be able to scoop some more. But anyway, go back to that time. It was eye-opening to me because Trade obviously came out and say, hey, you should buy put, right? Maybe, I don't know. It's just him, like, psychologically, it's like, hey, I don't know. I'm trying to tell you something and you're not listening to me or whatever. It's like, you know, you should buy put and all that stuff. And maybe it's just him, it's like, hey, you know, a guilty conscience type thing. And or not, just to manipulate more people into buying options and losing more money. I don't know where I'm going with this, but oh yeah, we all were fooled by it, and of course they're trying to fool more people now with this. You know, it works for them before, so therefore they're gonna try everything they can now to do that. See, like, meme coin is pumping. $28,000 subscriber, right? Oh, he just had a new one. GME handling dip nicely, of course. But I wonder, okay, do I see any Scott Allen of the world over here? Any Windrop of the world over here? Telling people not to buy into this shitcoin? Of course not, right? Oh, also too, that reminds me of one comment I saw on my live stream. This is like maybe a week ago or so. There was some gentleman coming in. I don't remember who it was, but he was saying, oh, these stock pumpers should go to jail or whatever, like referring to me, right? It's like I've never been pumping any stock whatsoever, right? I'm just presenting the facts here, but it just go to show that these people, how about, you know, go to these type of people. I don't see any comment on that, but it was on my live stream. And then at the same time, there were people like, how about Cramer? Jim Cramer has been pumping the wrong thing for a long time to retail investor. But yeah, it's kind of disheartening. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens. But again, you know, it has nothing to do with GameStop. But it's just everything leads to this company. So it seems, right? In my brain anyway. So yeah, sorry. I'm babbling, you guys. So any question? Appreciate your stream. Thank you so much. Hi Jay, thank you. Yep. Anything new coming, Jay? You want to share with us? I know I've been here for a while babbling on nothing whatsoever. Just chilling with you guys here. So let me see. See, this one is like $500 million right there. Yeah. I'm just amazed at this balance sheet, you guys. Like, it's like, I know. Like, people don't see it. The future, you know. Maybe I'm just watching Morans too much. That like, I see the future here, you know. It's so bright that it's just like mind-boggling to me that people don't see it now. But of course they probably do. They just want to steer you away from it currently. Like, to me, this is the bottom, right? I'm not talking about the price. I'm talking about the actual company itself. And so if you get fooled by these pumper right here, you know, pumping, what's that? Pumping. Oops. Who is this people? No, I was watching old live stream from Morans here. What the heck? I just had them on. No, not this one. No, not that one. I probably exited out already. Nope, it's gone. Let's go back. I'll just link all this video for you to watch if you're interested in it. Anyway, it's like it's one of those kind of food for thoughts type things, right? On the liberty and whether you have the ability to spend your money anywhere, right? As a free citizen. And so, of course, the people up top, they would love to regulate where you could spend your money, and that's not a, you know, that's not a free country. If you have a dictator out there that, you know, dictates where you could spend your money, that's not the world that it should be fostered, right? And so this technology is going to come to the world, and we need to know how to be responsible for it, right? How, or get to set the law, the code, the whatever. Let's see. Let's hear him a little bit here.
This is the most important point that I'll make today.
This one right here. Okay, let's listen in. I'm gonna slow him down a little bit here. I'm gonna go grab some water as well. So, okay.
Common ground we share. We all want rules. We all want rules. Rules are good. And this is the most important point that I'll make today. The traditional financial system is built on the rules of men rather than the rules of math, and society can do better. The rules of men are formed through a political process, which all people acknowledge as fallible and often corrupt. The rules of men rely on highly subjective human language and leave wide areas open for interpretation. When it comes to enforcement of these already squishy rules, nobody can predict a priori which infractions will actually be enforced. Gary Gensler alleges that all tokens are securities. Okay, Gary, why hasn't the SEC enforced against all tokens? The most charitable explanation is that they are under-resourced. Okay, but that still proves the point that financial regulation as it exists today is subjectively and partially enforced. And if we care about orderly markets, how can we respect that? How can we respect that? Compare this to any smart contract, which enforces 100% of the time, and we can all know, a priori, how that enforcement will be executed. Uniswap's enforcement division is never under-resourced, and the rules by which it operates are objective and transparent. We don't have to suffer subjective rules in the realm of finance any longer, but instead of Uniswap winning the Nobel Prize for the development of orderly markets, they are persecuted by the very agency tasked with ensuring orderly markets. So you want to call us agents of chaos? You want to dismiss us as the destructive anarchists? We are the only ones building financial rules that are enforced 100% of the time. Code polices better than police. We desire strong rules in our markets, and any rule which can easily be broken is a weak rule. There is a law that I may not cross a border without declaring $10,000 in my pocket. Interesting. I can so easily violate that law that it's an embarrassment, the very definition of that word. The laws of physics, the laws of mathematics, the laws of code, these laws have meaning. They are powerful, they are consistent, they are worthy of respect. The laws of men, the laws of a DC regulator, they are comparatively pathetic from the perspective of consistent order, and they are an unfit foundation upon which to build civilization into the 21st century. No. Man's law is, at best, highly fallible and porous. Perhaps it was needed once, just as we once needed the post office to send mail. Yet both the post office and the SEC still exist, vestigial and embarrassing, though I'm sure their budgets will yet again increase next year. Now compare the subjective laws of regulators, O rebellious adolescents, with the law of code. Compare the Dodd-Frank Act, that detestable tome, 2,300 pages long, which spawned thousands more pages across 400 new financial regulations, with Ave's lending contracts. Toward the achievement of orderly markets, which of these is more emblematic of an advanced civilization? Which is obviously the product of the 20th century technology, and which the product of the 21st? Compare the open source collaboration of crypto with the backroom dealings of DC. Which process of rulemaking is more noble and more virtuous? We are not agents of chaos, but agents of order. And while some may not approve of the systems of order that we're building, then again, no dinosaur ever approved of an asteroid. Do we care about society? Yes, of course. Deep in our bones, we care about society. Many of us are here because we see widespread economic injustice in the world and we want to help. We live amid society, we benefit from it, and we owe our efforts toward its improvement. But unlike any politician who mandates compliance with his ideas at the point of a gun, we are here to build peacefully, and we impose on no one. So do not let the status tell you that you do not care about rules or society. For you are building a superior technology for rules within society, and it is they, the politicians, the regulators, the leeching, plundering class of Washington, D.C., who should be praising your fine work in the realm of order and rulemaking. Compared to what we are building, they are the agents of chaos. They are the people printing billions of dollars and then pretending not to know where inflation comes from. For them to claim the moral or intellectual high ground in any matter of economics is absurd. They could at least have the decency to get out of the way. To be sure, our enemies are numerous. There are many who find the idea of open, permissionless finance to be abhorrent, for they're used to controlling things that they haven't built, and now finally they can't. And for the rest of us, for those radicals who don't impose their opinions upon millions of innocent people by force, how optimistic we can be, how bright the light of opportunity shines for everyone who has discovered this permissionless Promethean fire, how much brilliant creative energy is captured in this single room. Yes, we endure seemingly endless setbacks and struggle. Yes, scammers abound. Yes, we are condemned by the system that we aim to replace. Some of us endure persecution, and all of us periodically pain. But friends, try to see through those struggles. Be grateful for every noble challenge that you face in your work, for you are alive and your work is important. Be grateful for this opportunity in front of you. Consider all those people in traditional finance, those cogs in the regulatory state who go to work each day with dead eyes and weak hearts. Their soul knows that they are involved in nothing creative or beautiful. They are involved in nothing wild or romantic. But many of you are, so embrace it and cherish it and build upon it. Wild and romantic. These words still define the heart of crypto. And in a world of bureaucratic, soul-crushing absurdity, where society seems to be eating itself, grinding to dust, all those who dare stand as individuals against an arcane apparatus. This wild and romantic heart of crypto still beats block by block with unrelenting ambition. Stand tall and remember that you are neither slave nor serf. In America, the common man is the noble. So act like it. Be men and women of vitality, integrity, and of proud disposition. Be the pioneering industrialist and reflect the nobility of that role. Build with intention and see through every form of lowly interference, especially if it comes wearing flags and demanding tribute. Any regulator can submit a pull request. That they don't is telling. The traditional intra-legal financial territory was lost long ago to the political circus. So now we venture into a new territory that we've built extra-legal and permissionless. Here in this new land, west of the old, we admit only a subservience to moral virtue, to mathematics, and to the awesome power of open, composable, immutable code.
All right, I'm just gonna end it here. No, I think it's when I listen to that, the spirit of being a builder versus somebody who come out here and throw their money around and all that stuff. Like, they don't have that spirit of what it's like to be working with your hands, right? And the idea about being free to be creative, and I think Ryan Cohen embodied that. The spirit of like, hey, you gotta work, and work is sexy to him, right? And he's part. I know he's a billionaire. I get it. He gets there through Chewy owning it, and was. I mean, some people might think it's lucky, but I think it's due to his own work ethic, right? It takes him 7 years to do it, but he worked his ass off to get there. I get that, and to be able to earn from the fruit of his labor, and then come out of it at the end, kind of get into GameStop, seeing what's going on, building it brick by brick, so to speak, without the original, what is it, like the traditional way of how CEO become billions of dollars richer than the common working class who's been in and out, having no break whatsoever, to come to work and every single day and not having a hope, because they don't know the financial of how the system is rigged against them, right? You have regulators out there who would stop at nothing to protect themselves, right? And this is where the speech kind of like, hey, there's codes here. There's laws, and we all know that there's two different sets of laws in this country, right? That, if I go to rob a bank and cost the bank $10 million, do you think that the regulator out there, the police, going to be like, hey, just give me $10,000 and call it a night, right? And I make that analogy because Citadel, got caught doing terrible things in 5 years or something, mismark orders and all that stuff, but they get fined $8 million or something like that, a ridiculously low amount of fine from the SEC, right? If I robbed the bank, or at least, or if I did the mismarking of something in my tax, I would be jailed, right? And so that's why the code in blockchain does have some use case in there, but of course there's always going to be some danger in that, because the blockchain is only as good as the coder themselves, right? And so that's why we need to be aware of what those codes are, highly savvy people like Eric Voorhees, obviously. I think he's one of the good guy, but who knows? When you have that power, I don't know how people will change in that sense, but but I feel like it could be infiltrated as well. The code. We just have to be aware of it. The regulator has to know exactly what the codes are and all that stuff. And that's why open sources, I know it's kind of messy because, there are people who will try to mislead you. Hey, this code is not good when it's actually good, right? So you just have to be more knowledgeable about that. But, or at least trust the knowledge that comes from the people who are expert. And the challenge is to find the real expert out there who have the guts to tell the truth, no matter what the truth is, right? And so it's difficult to have those type of people around. But I know I'm ranting about nothing at all, but here I am seeing a correlation of his speech, of the spirit of Ryan Cohen in GameStop, the block by block, brick by brick type of mentality, that he's not afraid to take some risk here in order to innovate, into the future. The best way he know how to, being not the king of e-commerce, but more like a person who knows a lot about e-commerce. And so, yeah, he's doing the best he can and leading by example by not getting paid, by using his own money to buy into the stock himself, working, day by day in order to, bring value into the company, into his investment. It just so happened to be shareholder investment as well. And yeah, all the while people are just distracted because of these obstacle, blibs of people trying to derail, the success of this company. For whatever reason, this company is the only company under attack here. And so, this blockchain, I know like Solana, I'd be interested to see who created Solana blockchain. That's probably part of the connected dot. I'm hoping Moran's gonna look into that at some point. And I'm sure, like I said, it's gonna be the usual suspect here. Like not Bitcoin, Coinbase and all that stuff. I'm sure has some hand in that. And we all know that Coinbase are in the same building as Antera, right? So there you go. I hope I make some connection there, and these type of things will continue to happen. Just be vigilant and just know what you hold as a stock right here. There's a reason why they want to place obstacle in front of you. Years to come. We've been beating 4 quarters in a row. I have no reason to think that we're not gonna do well this coming quarter. So yeah, cheers you guys. Alright, there's no opposition here. That's good. I'm just gonna end it here. I've been here for a while. I will see you when I see you.